electors themselves, there's no good to our electoral process. Finally, I would like to thank all the members of the Peace Committee for their commitment and unity of this country. I would also want to thank the European Union and the Swiss for their partnership and support. I would also want to thank the Honorable Minister ICC for allowing us to use this edifice. I also want to thank the staff who have worked tirelessly to get this place ready for this signing process. May God bless Nigeria. May we continue to enjoy peace. May peace return back to our country. God bless us. Thank you very much.
That was General Abu Salami Al-Hadi Abubakar, GCFR, Chairman of the National Peace Committee, delivering his welcome address on this occasion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's appreciate General Abu Salami Abubakar. To kindly underscore the fact that General Abu Salami Abubakar has, as members of this committee, very eminent Nigerians. The Vice Chair, Commander Obi Ukiwe, retired. At some point, Chief of General Staff, and that was in the 1980s. The convener of the NPC is my Lord Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka. He turned 70 recently. And congratulations. His Eminence, Al-Haji Muhammad Musa'ad Abubakar III, CFR, Sultan of Sokoto, is also a member of the NPC. His Eminence, John Cardinal Enoeko, is also a member. Al-Haji Aliko Dangote, GCON, as Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, second highest national honor, is a member. Professor Ahmed Obadia, Professor of Law, is also a member. Prince Sam Amuga, respected journalist and publisher of Vanguard newspapers, is also a member. And so is Dame Priscilla Kuye, former President of the Nigerian Bar Association. My Lord, Justice Rosemary Mukeje, OFR, former Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, is also a member. So is Lieutenant General Martin Aguai. General Martin Aguai was Chief of Army Staff and Chief of Defense Staff. Al-Haji Mahmoud Yayale Ahmed, CFR, was head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and also Honorable Minister of Defense. He serves on the Peace Committee. Mr. Femi Otedola, renowned businessman and CON, is also a member. And so is Hidayat Hassan, who is the director of the Center for Democracy and Development. The founder of Channels Television, Dr. John Momo, OON, that is Officer of the Order of Nigeria, is also a member. And the seriousness attached to this event is indicated by the fact that nearly all of the members of the Peace Committee are here today. The political parties are also very well represented, again a signification of the seriousness that they attach to this peace accord, the first of the two accords to be signed ahead of the 2023 elections. Party chairmen, presidential candidates, and some of the spokespersons are here. His Excellency Abdullahi Adamu, National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, is here in the audience, as is the Vice Presidential Candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Alhaji Kashim Shettima. We also have Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman of the Labour Party. His Excellency Peter Obi, Presidential Candidate of the Labour Party. Dati Ahmed, Vice Presidential Candidate of the Labour Party. Former Vice President of the Federal Republic, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who is Presidential Candidate of the People's Democratic Party, is here present. Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, former Minister of the Federal Republic, former Governor of Kano State, and Presidential Candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, is also in our midst. The Presidential Candidate of Action Alliance, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, is also present. And the National Chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, Chief John Oluwayo, is also here in our midst. In the event that we have not mentioned your name, please bear with us. We will, in the next round of recognition, identify those who are here and appropriately recognize them. And to indicate that this event, aside from the battery of reporters that we have seen in the auditorium, the event is being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. So there are viewers around the world for this particular time are tuned in, and the address, the Kuka Center. The Kuka Center. Facebook and YouTube streaming at this time, live. I earlier indicated that the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is here represented, and that's by Dr. Habiba Abudawawal, who is the Special Advisor to His Excellency President of the Federal Republic on policies and coordination. We will have some goodwill messages. And it's my pleasure at this time to invite the Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to deliver his goodwill message.
The Chairman of the National Peace Committee, our respected
former head of state, General Abdulsalami Alhaji Abubakar GCFR, the President of the Senate, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, members of the National Peace Committee, chairmen of political parties, presidential candidates for the 2023 general election, the Inspector General of Police, heads of other security agencies, Your Excellency, the EU Ambassador to Nigeria and other members of the Diplomatic Corps, National Commissioners of INEC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the National Peace Committee for organizing this important event and for the opportunity to deliver a goodwill message on behalf of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Twice in 2015 and 2019, political parties and candidates committed themselves to peaceful elections by signing the National Peace Accord organized by the National Peace Committee. The success of the National Peace Accord at the national level for the general election led to demand by stakeholders for the devolution of the same effort to major off-cycle elections at state level. In response, the National Peace Committee organized the Peace Accord ahead of the governorship elections in Edo in September 2020 and subsequently in 4 more elections. The result is not only the peaceful conduct of these elections, but that the process keeps improving one election after another. Today, the National Peace Committee is taking another giant step by inviting political parties and candidates to commit to peaceful electioneering campaign. This is important considering the connection between peaceful campaign on the one hand and peaceful and credible elections on the other. The Commission appreciates the positive role of the Peace Committee in the progressive improvement of our elections in Nigeria. The Electoral Act 2022 provides for campaign in public by political parties not later than 150 days before polling day. Accordingly, campaign by political parties for the 2023 general elections officially commenced yesterday, Wednesday, 20th September 2022. This will continue until 24 hours before polling day, that is 25 February 2023 for national elections, Presidential and National Assembly, and 9th March 2023 for state elections, governorship and houses of assembly. The implication is that for the next 148 days, political parties, candidates and their supporters publish other campaign materials. This is often a period, very delicate period indeed, characterized by excitement and anxiety. In line with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and in our determination to play our role as regulator, the Independent National Electoral Commission will vigorously monitor compliance to ensure that parties shun abusive, intemperate or slanderous language, as well as insinuations or innuendos likely to provoke a breach of the peace during the electionary campaign. Similarly, the Commission will also closely monitor compliance with the limits on campaign spending as enshrined in the Electoral Act. There are sanctions provided by law. Political parties and candidates should study and familiarize themselves with the electoral legal framework to avoid any infraction of the law and the unhappy consequences that will follow any act of misdemeanor. For emphasis, I would like to draw attention to the provision of Section 95, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act. This is because in the past, so many political parties approach the Commission and complain. But Section 95, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act makes it illegal for state apparatus, meaning the power of incumbency, to be used to the advantage or disadvantage of any political party or candidate, including the denial of the use of state facilities, public media organizations, or exorbitant charges for outdoor advertising, especially in terms of signages and billboards. And the law also prescribes penalties for any infraction. The 2023 general election will be conducted for 1,491 constituencies nationwide, made up of 1 presidential constituency, 28 governorship elections. In 8 states, the governorship elections are conducted off-site, like the last 2 elections conducted in Ekiti and Osun. We have 109 senatorial districts, 360 federal constituencies, and 993 state constituencies. Every constituency is important. Every election is important. Therefore, the commitment to peaceful and issue-based electioneering campaign should resonate beyond 18 party chairmen and presidential candidates here today. It is not enough to simply sign the peace accord. What is more important is to abide by its letter and spirit. You should similarly pass the message to all your candidates, members and supporters across the country for compliance. This will be your own way of showing appreciation for the work of the National Peace Committee and an affirmation of your contribution to electoral peace in Nigeria. The Chairman of the National Peace Committee, Your Excellency General Abdulsalami Abubakar, members of the Peace Committee, INEC appreciates our partnership with you for peaceful elections, and may God continue to bless our efforts. I thank you very much.
I was the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Yakubu. Let's appreciate him for his goodwill message. And very quickly, before I invite the next goodwill message, we'll recognize the presence of the presidential candidate and party chair of the Action Democratic Party, ex-engineer Yabagi Yusuf Sani, is here with us. We also have the African Democratic Congress presidential candidate, Obi Meet Atiku, is here in the audience. The Social Democratic Party has its presidential candidate, Prince Adewale Adebayo, also here with us. And for his critical role, that's the National Orientation Agency, we have the Director General, Dr. Gadba Abara. About 2 months ago, sometime in early August, at this same venue, there was a launch, a commencement of a series of national workshops on election security management. On that occasion, the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs was present. So was the Inspector General of Police along with other service chiefs. And today, the Inspector General of Police is here again. He has a goodwill message on behalf of the services. The Inspector General of Police.
Easy, I think.
Your Excellency, the former head of state, General other eminent members of the Christian State, the President of the Senate, every represented, every represented, all other honorable ministers present here, party chairmen and officials, the candidates of the various political parties, chairmen and national commissioners of INEC, members of the diplomatic corps, chairman and members of the police service commission, all other heads of security agencies, ladies and gentlemen. I am most heartily commend General Abubakar, the former head of state and national chairman of this committee, as well as other most respected members of the committee, for their patriotism, national service, personal sacrifices, exemplary commitment to the advancement of our beloved nation's diplomatic journey. By this vision of the National Peace Committee, the peace accord signing event have now become an invariable and integral component of our democratic practices. The significance of this initiative lies in the fact that it places moral value on political actors, triggers their sense of patriotism, and challenges them to place national interest above narrow personal considerations in the legitimate pursuit of their political ambitions. Your Excellency, it would be appreciated that at various local and international engagements, the President Muhammad Buhari, the President of the Republic of Nigeria, has consistently affirmed his commitment to bequeathing a legacy of deepening democratic system and credible electoral process to the nation. In furtherance of this, Mr. President has constantly charged all agencies linked to the democratic process, including the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Nigerian Police Force and other ICC agencies, as well as all political parties, to internalize the ethics of democracy, which emphasizes the supremacy of the will of the citizens as freely returned expressed in election cycles under a peaceful and stable security political order. It is also noted that Mr. President continues to strengthen the legal framework, processes, and the capacity of institutions that are statutorily involved in the electoral system of the country. Today, we can compliment Mr. President's initiative. This is an event, but this is to the extent that it is trying to build a cross-political and all-inclusive consensus in committing political parties, candidates, and their agents to the path of conducting their campaigns in a peaceful manner, and in due consideration of overriding national security interests towards the credible 2023 general elections. In aid of this process, it is essential that this unique forum be utilized to remind all political parties, citizens, and other strategic stakeholders in the electoral process of key provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, in relation to conduct that will negate the spirit and intention of this peace accord. In this regard, our attention needs to be drawn to the electoral offences as captured in Section 225, subsection 3 of the Constitution, prohibiting political parties from holding funds or other assets outside the country. This is complemented by Section 93 of the Electoral Act as amended, containing provisions on campaign finances, election expenses, limit of donations by individuals to fund political campaigns as a candidate, falsification of documents relating to election documents, and funding limits are allowed by law. Cognizance must also be given due to Section 94 to 102 of the Act, which contains provisions of offences relating to campaigns by political parties and the expected conduct by strategic actors in the process, including the obligations of INEC, the media, the police and other security agencies under these sections. The police are mandated for the following job. 1. Provide adequate security for processing and political rallies and campaigns. 2. Resolve conflicts of time and venue between parties in a consultative manner. And 3. Not to prevent any registered political party from holding rallies, processions, or meetings. The Act also prohibits political parties and their agents from violative conduct, such as 1. Political campaigns or slogans must not contain abusive language or use of languages that are disrespectful to religious, ethnic, or tribal beliefs. 2. Abusive, slanderous, extreme, violent insinuations or inferences likely to provoke violence must not be used in political campaigns. Places designated for religious worship, the police station and other public offices must not be used for political campaigns, rallies, and processions, nor to promote, propagate, or attack political parties or their candidates or their programs and ideologies. The use of fear and intimidation, such as use of masquerades, physical force or coercion, in any form including the retention and use of private security organizations, groups of individuals or couples, or providing security at processions is prohibited. Section 81 of the Act and Section 227 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria prohibits any political party or individuals from organizing, training, or equipping or deploying any passive military groups or specifically trained forces or partisan goals in the electioneering campaign or broad electoral process. These include persons or groups trained for the purpose of forcing or coercing or promoting any political objective or interest. Political parties and their agents are also prohibited from either directly or indirectly threatening a person with the use of force or violence during any political campaign, or to compel or support, or refrain from supporting a political party or candidate. In addition, political parties are statutorily requested to undertake their campaigns within the prescribed time or period. The Electoral Act also prohibits the possession of offensive weapons, or missiles at any rally, procession, or voting center. In relation to the conduct of the media practitioners, the Act provides that a person of electronic media or body corporate must not broadcast, publish, advertise, or circulate any material for the purpose of promoting or opposing a political party or the election of a particular candidate over the radio, television, newspaper, magazine, handbill, or any print electronic media whatsoever for 24 hours immediately before any polling day. State media must not be used for anything against or any political party or for any political party or candidate. Media houses shall allot equal time, coverage, and opportunities to all parties and candidates. In this regard, I wish to call on the National Broadcasting Commission to note these provisions and ensure that the activities of media practitioners are regulated accordingly. Against these highlights, Section 117 to 132 of the Act specifically identifies various electoral offences, including forgery of electoral documents, disorderly conduct, propagating of falsehoods, unlawful possession of firearms and offensive items, impersonation of voters' threats, bribery and inducement of electors, among others. In relation to electoral officials, the Act identifies the reduction of duty by electoral officials and act of omission to do any act by electoral officials in breach of official duty, failure to report promptly at polling units on an election day without lawful excuse, failure to discharge lawful duties at polling units without lawful excuse, knowingly publishing or announcing false results, knowingly delivering or causing to be delivered a false certificate of return to any news media, knowingly conspiring to make false declarations as a result of offenses. All these offenses, which thought attract judicial punishment or fines or items of imprisonment or conviction, constitute major threats to our electoral processes, democratic advancement, and national security. As we sign the peace accord, it is incumbent on all the political parties and all other strategic stakeholders that I have mentioned earlier in the electoral process to be committed to sensitizing their members and officials to be conscious of these provisions and resolve to avoid freely and patriotically contravening them in the interest of our democracy and national security. I must at this juncture commend INEC for optimally leveraging on cutting-edge information and communication technology tools and introducing innovative actions that have proven to be effective in mitigating electoral offenses of multiple voting, for instance, multiple voting or result altercations while on transit to collection centers and effects of ballot box snatching. These are offenses that can no longer be very, very viable because of the innovations of INEC. While these initiatives have deepened our democracy, it is worrisome that political actors are unrelenting in exploring new acts directed at circumventing the electoral process. One of such is the ignoble and unlawful acts of vote buying and attempted cyber attacks on INEC servers. We appreciate the assurance of INEC chairman to continually safeguard the electoral process and to assure of support of the Nigeria Police Force. I wish to appeal to party officials to conduct their campaigns in a peaceful manner, devoid of ethnic, religious, hateful rhetoric that could incite violence and aggravate insecurity in the nation, while avoiding deployment of unauthorized security outfits to advance their interests in any manner. In drawing on specific examples, there are currently not less than 88 different national security outfits established by state governments, local governments, as well as other non-state regulated security outfits across the country under various nomenclatures. We have been dealing with reports of the deployment of some of these outfits to advance partisan interests in the countdown to the 2023 general elections. Aside this situation, where political actors as part of the electioneering campaign process engage in hate speeches, cyberbullying, false information, and guided statements that could inflame the political space as well as corrupting the electoral process through vote buying or indirect recovery and political violence, ballot box snatching, illegal firearms dealing to advance political motives and subvert the free will of the electors are potent dangers to our democracy. As we witness the signing of the peace accord, I call on all political actors across party lines to, in the overriding national security interest, see the document from their heart and as patriotic citizens, respected statements who appreciate that there must be a peaceful Nigeria for their personal and collective political ambitions to strive. On our part as the lead agency in the election security process, I assure all political parties, the citizens, and the international community of our firm determination to synergize with INEC leadership of all political parties at all levels, civil society organizations, the military, intelligence community, and other security agencies and all other strategic stakeholders in guaranteeing a peaceful electioneering campaign engagement by all political parties towards delivering a credible 2023 general elections. In furtherance of this, we have commenced a set of actions to sensitize the political class and conduct that could teach them against the law as the electioneering campaign commences. These include issuing a public statement affirming that all pursuits to and sub-national security outfits are banned from electoral states as they have no statutory roles to play in the process. Any attempt, therefore, by any political actor at any level to form or deploy such outfits to advance partisan interests will amount to an offense punishable under the Electoral Act. The Nigerian police shall perform its statutory mandate of enforcing the law by bringing such persons to any or any other person whose act violates the electoral law to justice. In this regard, I have already directed all the commissioners of police across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCC to meet with the leadership of all political parties and the resident electoral commissioners in their states most maturely, evolving the campaign schedules in a manner that will address possible cross-party conflicts in terms of date, time, and venue. I assure you that a level playing field and adequate security will be provided to all political parties during the campaign. I, however, wish to specifically appeal to all political parties to cooperate with the Nigerian police and other security agents in this process and in our general strive to ensure a peaceful electioneering campaign across the country. On this note, I convey my goodwill message to this strategic gathering and that of all other security agencies, including the military and the party, and pray that Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should continually perfect our beloved nation in the process of getting there. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, for the goodwill message. I was almost tempted to say the keynote address. But of course, he has a lot of meat in his goodwill message, and we appreciate the issues that are highlighted in the message. Very quickly, also in this auditorium, presidential candidate of our court party, Professor Christopher Imobole, national chairman and presidential candidate of African Action Congress, Moyole Sowore, is also in the audience. We also have the presidential candidate of NRN, Ambassador Felix Osakwe, as well as the only female presidential candidate. Of the 18 of them, we have one female presidential candidate. Round of applause. INEC has confirmed that she's the candidate of the APM, that is Allied People's Movement. Princess Chichi Oje, thank you for being around. So, we're going to try and speed things up. There are a few statutory items we have here which we're going to deal with. Some of them are recorded. But it's my pleasure at this time to welcome and invite the head of the delegation of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Her Excellency Ambassador Samuela Soto, to provide a good message. Her Excellency Soto.
Your Excellency, General Abdusalami Abubakar, former Head of State and Chairman of the National Peace Committee, Your Excellencies, religious and traditional leaders, members of the Peace Committee, the Inspector General of Police, the Chairman of INEC, Chairman of political parties, presidential candidates, civil society organizations, members of the media, colleagues from the international community. I'm truly honored to address you briefly on the occasion of the signing of the first National Peace Accord ahead of the 2023 general elections. In 2015, Nigeria set an example for Africa and for the world with the transition of power from one civilian administration to a new one. It is our hope as a long-standing partner and supporter of Nigeria's democratic governance, that as we move towards 2023 general elections, Nigeria will continue to take new and decisive steps to see a further consolidation of democracy through peaceful, inclusive, credible, and transparent elections. As the largest democracy in Africa, Nigerian elections do matter, and not only for Nigeria. Nigeria's elections will also be about the future of democracy in West Africa and the continent. This is why they are so important. Nigeria has an opportunity to lead, to contribute to reversing the trend of undemocratic change of power, and through its leadership, consolidate democracy in the region and beyond. As leaders of political parties and presidential candidates, you have a vital role to play in ensuring peaceful elections, in engaging in peaceful and issue-based campaigns, in taking a firm stance against violence, against hate speech, against misinformation and fake news. As you well know, in politics, words do count. And as political leaders, you are role models for your candidates, for your supporters, for voters, and for citizens. The 2015 and 2019 peace accords facilitated by the National Peace Committee played a vital role, and we welcome the commitments taken today. All stakeholders have a role to play. We should all lend our support to and respect the fundamental and independent role of INEC. INEC should be allowed to operate free from outside pressure, and it deserves for the trust increasingly placed in them, demonstrating neutrality and professionalism, guarding jealously their independence, and delivering an effective and efficient process for all. Security forces, in fulfilling their critical role, will have to keep their neutrality and guarantee safety of all campaigners and voters, and in particular women, people with disabilities, and other vulnerable groups. And we welcome today the presence of the Inspector General of Police, representing the service chief. The media, as our transparency watchdogs, campaign platforms, and public educators should also adhere to their own common code of conduct. These shared responsibilities are crucial at all levels. I wish to commend the role of the National Peace Committee and the leadership of His Excellency, former Head of State, General Abdulsalami Abubakar. Your role has been vital in 2015 and 2019, and you demonstrate once again today the importance and the relevance of the committee ahead of the 2023 general elections. As for the international community, and for the European Union and its member states in particular, we wish to reiterate our commitment and our support, but also to stress our impartiality. We are not here to support any particular party or any particular candidate. We are here, at your invitation, to support the process through international expertise, independent observation, and support for key institutions. We are committed to continue supporting the consolidation of the democratic process in Nigeria with our technical support, sharing of experience and good practices, and political engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the European Union, its member states, and international partners here present, I wish to congratulate you all on today's historic and important step in the adoption of the first National Peace Accord ahead of the next elections. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Samuela Isopi, Head of Delegation of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. I'm sure you've listened to those who spoke earlier and the indication they gave as to the origins of the peace accords that have been signed for the 2015 and the 2019 general elections, and the first that is to be signed today. Let's refresh our memories with this brief documentary, very brief. about the visuals that we have from the past.
Yeah, playing on TV. Yeah.
Generated so much tension and fear that many informed analysts both within and outside the country control the situation of Nigeria.
The woman. Is it? Her name did the program. Yeah.
The situation was compounded by the very vitriolic tone of the campaign, in which religious, ethnic, and hate slurs were commonly used to make groups against each other. In response to this, the milestone event and a significant turning point in the 2015 general election. In the same vein, the political process leading up to the 2019 elections created severe fears and concerns. Once again, the convening power of the National Peace Committee was called upon for intervention. Unlike 2015, the intervention of the NPC in 2019 took a completely different dimension. The signing of the peace accord at the national level was made more than once. The first peace accord was to commit political parties to peaceful campaigns and rallies devoid of incitement, insults, violence, and the deployment of fake news, misinformation, and misrepresentation. The second peace agreement was to ensure that political parties accept the outcome of the vote as long as it is adjudged to be fair, free, and credible. Another significant step undertaken by the committee is that the peace conference and signing of the peace agreement was devolved to local level as well. The peace committee participated extensively in state-based interventions. This participation has been informed by the Research and Data Collection Unit of the NPC Secretariat, which assessed the risk of widespread violence in the different states. For example, the National Peace Committee undertook the mobilization and signing of peace agreements in Kogi, Bayelsa, Ondo, Osun State, Ekiti State, and Anambra State. The experience of the NPC in these states indicates that the committee alone cannot support elections in all the states, especially when general elections hold. It is easy for the Peace Committee to intervene in states during staggered elections, but more difficult during general elections. For this reason, the Peace Committee mandated its Secretariat to mobilize key stakeholders in 8 states as a pilot scheme for establishing state-based peace architectures. This was done in Adamawa, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Gombe, Taraba, Bauchi, and Enugu states. The mandate of the NPC was officially expanded to include intervention in non-electoral matters. This decision was initiated by the members in their September 2019 plenary meeting and eventually endorsed.
My apologies for walking back late to the lecture. Well, that was a brief documentary on the history of the National Peace Accord that we had since the 2015 general elections. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're having a slight adjustment. If you have a copy of the program, removing item 7, which is supposed to be at this time the march from commitment to peaceful campaigns. So after the reading, immediately after the reading of the text of the peace accord, and before the political parties and the candidates subscribe to the National Peace Accord. But the organizers, the National Peace Committee, have also included in today's event some elements of time travel. We are all gathered here. The country is ours now, but the country also has and should have a future. So we're having a teenager come up at this time to share her thoughts with us very briefly. Let me invite Naomi Oloyobe to deliver a short message to the audience and to Nigerians at large. Naomi.
The chairman of the National Peace Committee, NPC, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, GCFR, the convener, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, members of the Peace Committee, presidential candidates, party chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Naomi Oloyobe. I'm 14 years old. I am here to address you on behalf of our generation, who will be in power from 2050. Our dear country has been a subject of controversy. A lot of blame has been passed around between our parents and grandparents trading blame. No matter how much you trade blame, somebody is responsible. Many people are afraid of the future. We are afraid. I see that over 20 million of my brothers and sisters are currently out of school. We the children believe that our environment has been destroyed in trying to satisfy the greed of different generations of Nigerians. However, the good news is that a time will come when our country will be peaceful, because there will be no oil money to share anymore. By that time, our country will be using our brains, not our religion, ethnicity, or social class as a means of being important. I just want to transport you to that period when some of you may have retired and no longer access to the scheme of things. This is the way the world goes. And as the Holy Book says, a generation comes and another generation goes. By 2050, if I become president, there will be no fighting during elections because our generation will have found a cure for corruption, violence, and stealing of votes using technology. By 2050, as president, I will not need 20 cars following me because there will be no need for that. Again, by 2050, we would have found a cure for hunger because food production will not be a problem. To every leader and stakeholder here today, I want to appeal to you to put this country first in everything you are doing and planning to do. Finally, as you start your campaign, please, in the name of God, have our future in mind and try to leave a safe country for us. This is not the time to settle scores. This is the best gift you could give us, and it is the greatest assurance that you too will retire in peace. When you do this, then you will be remembered with fondness and not blamed. I look forward to growing up in a beautiful country where there is peace and where the rule of law is respected. Thank you, God bless you all, and God bless our country, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Naomi Oloyede, 14 years old, and schooling here in the Federal Capital Territory. She's given a script of what they expect for the future, and best of luck to all of us. Very quickly, we're going to some peace messages from eminent Nigerians. Two of them were participants in the first National Peace Accord that was signed for the 2015 elections. I'm here speaking of former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, and incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course they will be joined by the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello. It's a short one, recorded, and I crave your indulgence to listen to their messages of peace.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the FCT administration and the entire residents of Abuja, our beautiful capital city, it's my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the signing of the first National Peace Accord for the 2023 general elections by all presidential candidates. The central objective of the accord signing ceremony being organized by the highly credible National Peace Committee under the distinguished leadership of His Excellency General Abdulsalami Abubakar, GCFR, is to promote issue-based political rallies during campaigns for the 2023 elections. The accord is expected to commit the various presidential candidates to peaceful and non-violent campaigns, devoid of personal attacks and insults, both online and offline, particularly by their teaming supporters. This is more critical now, considering the increasing role of social media in public discourse. Therefore, we should all support this laudable initiative by the National Peace Committee. In concluding, I wish to convey the sincere appreciation of the Federal Capital Territory Administration to the Peace Committee under the distinguished leadership of General Abdulsalami Abubakar for choosing Abuja as the host city for this historical event. I want to also further commit our dedication to all activities of the National Peace Committee as part of our contribution towards deepening democracy in our fatherland. Thank you very much.
Members of the National Peace Committee and commitment of members of the National Peace Committee to peace in our country and their efforts toward ensuring peaceful elections in Nigeria. Let me also offer my warm greetings to all the presidential candidates, other candidates contesting other levels of elections, and fellow compatriots for their patriotism and interest in the peace of our country. All of us will continue to share in the prayers and enthusiasm of the Peace Committee for a peaceful, free, and fair elections in our nation. The task of ensuring peaceful elections in 2023 is our collective responsibility. Although we are all key stakeholders, we must say that it behoves on the candidates and the leaders of the various parties to lead the process of peaceful elections in our country. We are at a critical stage in our national life, where we have no choice but to promote national cohesion, love and hope, in order to make desired progress. We cannot afford to continue to play politics of bitterness and division and long ethnic and religious lines. This is because such kind of politics portends great danger to our unity, growth, and the sustenance of our democracy. We have to be mindful of the destructive impact of hate speech, fake news, and mindless propaganda, especially in a climate where the fabric of unity and stability still needs to be strengthened. I charge the candidates, their promoters, and supporters to exercise restraint and seek to run their campaigns based on issues that affect our people. They should, by all means, avoid needless attacks on personalities and use of abusive language. For those are the elements that cause chaos and crisis within elections. Political stability and growth of democracy in any country are usually measured by the quality of elections. In this regard, we expect our democracy to be consolidated in such a way that our electoral process will be seen to record incremental progress at the end of every election cycle. Unfortunately, this has not been the case, as there are signs of inconsistencies with the progress we make in our elections. As citizens of this great country, we all have the responsibility to redirect our steps, strive to work harder, and do the right thing to avoid the stagnation of our democracy. Since I left office in 2015, I've been involved in the process of promoting democracy across Africa. My experience as an election observer, having led observation missions to many countries, is that many African countries are working hard to improve their elections and deepen the roots of democracy in their land. Many of us will recall that elections held recently in Kenya, Ghana, and the Gambia, and I am pleased that peaceful outcomes were recorded in those countries. In 2023, I expect our country to raise the bar for credible and transparent elections by ensuring that our electoral processes are peaceful, free, and fair. Once again, I urge our candidates to lead the charge and strive to make our electioneering issue-based, clean, and violence-free. Thank you all. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I thank members of the National Peace Committee, led by its chairman, General Abdusalami Abubakar, for their commitment and dedication to supporting peaceful elections in Nigeria and for facilitating peace generally across the country. As the President, I have always reiterated my commitment to peaceful, credible, and transparent elections, and what the Peace Committee has been doing over the years aligns with my belief that Nigeria needs peace in order to achieve credible elections. However, the rise of fake news and misinformation continue to pose a significant threat to democracy in Nigeria. It has shifted focus away from issue-based campaigns to amplify the potential for personal attacks, insults, and incitement. It has also significantly diminished the civility and decency in public discourse and debate. The initiatives undertaken by National Peace Committee to commit all political actors to issue-based campaign devoid of incitement, personal insults, and attacks is a welcome development. The 2023 general women and elections. It is an opportunity to serve Nigeria, to defend Nigeria, and to uphold her unity and progress. Therefore, I call on all Nigerians, political parties, politicians, security agencies, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and all stakeholders to ensure that Nigeria is placed above regional and sectional claims. I appeal to the contestants, especially their publicity aides and media advisors, to shun personal attacks, avoid insults and incitement, reject the spread of fake news, and commit issue-based campaigns and political relevance. Once again, let me emphasize that everything must be done to support the National Peace Committee in their work to ensure peaceful elections in Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, those were peace messages from incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari, former President Goodluck Jonathan, and Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Musa Bello. What is the text of the National Peace Accord to be signed presently by the political parties and their presidential candidates? May I crave your indulgence to carefully view the screen where the text of the National Peace Accord, the first National Peace Accord, will be projected. And thereafter, we will provide very brief remarks, probably about 60 seconds, indicating the commitment of the parties and the candidates to peaceful campaigns. And at the time of the subscription to the accord, we will have 4 tables on the platform, and the parties will be called out in alphabetical order. The party chairman and the presidential candidate. In the absence of the presidential candidate, the vice presidential candidate. Or, in the absence of the party chairman, other senior designated officers. They will come out and endorse the National Peace Accord. And after the endorsement, they are kindly requested to still remain on the platform for a photo session. May we have the text projected on the screen so that the parties and the candidates may be fully apprised of the text of the National Peace Accord.
2022 National Peace Accord on the prevention of violence and issue-focused campaigns by presidential candidates and chairpersons of the political parties contesting the 2023 general elections under the auspices of the National Peace Committee, NPC. We, the undersigned presidential candidates and chairpersons of the underlisted political party contesting in the 2023 general elections, we are affirming our commitment to taking proactive measures towards the creation of a safe environment for the conduct of a credible, fair, transparent, and verifiable electoral process. Cognizant of the need to maintain a peaceful environment before, during, and after the 2023 general elections, we are affirming our commitment to fully abide by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to respect the rules and regulations as laid down in the legal framework for elections in Nigeria, and to adhere to best international standards and best practices of our democratic process. Desirous of sustaining and promoting the unity and corporate existence of Nigeria as an indivisible entity, determined to avoid any conduct or behavior that will endanger the political stability and national security of Nigeria, mindful of our responsibility towards the Nigerian citizens and the democratic rights and determined to place national interests above personal and partisan concerns. Hereby commit ourselves and our parties to the following: to conduct our campaigns in a manner that focuses on policy issues and promotion of our party manifestos, to ensure that we, our spokespersons, members and supporters refrain from insults, intimidation, incitement, bribery, extortion and violence. Our conduct will be in accordance with the rule of law, both online and offline, throughout the electoral process. To ensure that we, our spokespersons, party members and supporters refrain from disseminating fake news, misinformation, disinformation throughout our campaign engagements, both online and offline. To engage in authentic campaigning practices, including responsible use of genuine and official online social media accounts for our campaigns and avoiding disinformation and misinformation or the use of fake parody accounts or unverified networks. To ensure that in our parties, women, youths, and persons with disability are protected from assault, violence, and discrimination throughout the campaign period and beyond. To condemn both publicly and privately instigators and perpetrators of all acts of discrimination and violence based on gender, ethnicity, belief, age, and political affiliation. To support all institutions of government involved in conducting or securing the elections, in particular the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the security agencies, to act with professionalism, impartiality, and transparency. To discourage state agencies, institutions, and public officers from supporting partisan interest in any form, incitement to violence, or other offenses that may threaten the integrity of the electoral process. This includes vote trading and any action that endangers the security of Nigerians and non-Nigerians before, during, and after the elections. To use peaceful, inclusive, respectful, culturally sensitive, educative, and issue-based communication devoid of personal attacks, character assassination throughout the electoral process. To fully collaborate with the National Peace Committee, made up of respected statesmen and women, traditional and religious leaders, in its mission to monitor the adherence of this accord. To abide by the letter and spirit of this accord, and give my actions and utterances, or those of any party or that of my party violates the principles of this accord, we are said to be held accountable according to the laws and Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We agree to the full application of national and international law against any subversion of the electoral process.
Your Excellencies, party chairman and presidential candidates, distinguished guest ladies and gentlemen, that was the text of the National Peace Accord to be acceded to by the candidates and their political parties. May I, by agreement, respectfully invite the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Engineer Rabbi Yusuf Sani, to disclose and affirm the commitment of the political parties and their presidential candidates to peaceful campaigns. 60 seconds.
Let me please start on the meeting protocol and of course recognize the national chairman of the National Peace Committee, in person of General Abubakar, COR, and to confirm that as political parties who are key stakeholders in the process of deepening democracy, conducting elections, we commit to the peaceful, credible, reliable, and all-inclusive elections in the most populous nation on the continent of Africa, Nigeria. I pray Allah to make that happen and make us proud as leaders, not only on the continent of Africa, but in the community of nations. So on behalf of the political parties, I congratulate Nigerians that 2023 elections is going to be free, fair, and credible. Thank you for the opportunity to say this.
Thank you very much, Chairman of the Party Advisory Council, Engineer Rabbi Yusuf Sani, for that pledge on behalf of the 18 political parties. Now is the time to subscribe to the peace accord. And as I indicated earlier, there are 4 tables. Each of the tables will accommodate 4 political parties. Party chairman or other senior official of the party, and the presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate. For each of the 4 tables, there is a 5th table. That 5th table will be used by the INEC chairman, the Inspector General of the Police, and the chairman of the Peace Committee as the last page for the signatory to the Peace Accord. Accordingly, I will respectfully invite the National Chairman of our party, Mohammed Lawa Dalado, and the candidate of the party, Christopher Ibobole, Kenneth Udeze, National Chairman, Action Alliance, and the candidate, Hamza Al-Mustafa, Sowore is the chairman of African Action Congress and also the candidate of the African Action Congress. He will be directed accordingly to the table. Ralph Okewosu, National Chairman, African Democratic Congress, and the candidate of the party, Obi Meet Atiku. National Chairman, Action Democratic Party, and also the candidate of the Action Democratic Party,
You don't need to move now, don't.
Why now? Stop the block. You talk, calm down.
Please remember, and this is for the attention of the signatories to the accord. After endorsing the accord, candidates stay back on the platform. Second table, Abdullahi Adamu, National Chairman of Progressive Congress, and the candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the Vice Presidential candidate, Shettima. All Progressive Grand Alliance, Abga, National Chairman, Victor Oye, and the candidate, Chukwudi Peter Mbah. All Allied People's Movement, National Chairman, Yusuf Dantale, candidate, Princess Chichi Oje. Action People's Party, National Chairman, Uche Nnamdi, candidate Charles Osita Nnamdi. Boot Party, National Chairman Sunday Adenuga.
Hello, man.
Join the queue.
Join the queue.
Stop. Let them. Let them leave.
You are blocking us, please.
Join the queue. MC.
Table 3. National Chairman, Labour Party, Julius Abul. Candidate, Peter Gregory Obi. New Nigeria People's Party, National Chairman, Rufai Ahmed Al-Ali. Candidate, Rabi Odusa Congress. National Chairman, National Rescue Movement, Isaac Ude, candidate Phyllis Osakwe. National Chairman, People's Democratic Party, Yocha Ayu.
Oga.
Official.
You are blocking us now.
And the candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abuja. People's Democratic Party National Chairman, Amalu Lelo.
No, you can't go down here.
And candidate,
No one is here already.
Kolawole Abiola. And the last table, that's table 4, National Chairman, Social Democratic Party, Shehu Gabam, candidate, Adewale Ebeniga Adebani. National Chairman, Young Progressive Party, Bishop Amakiri, candidate, Asomale Ado Ibrahim. Senate Labour Party, National Chairman, Dan Umayoni, candidate, Dan Umayoni.
Chairman.
They want to make it for the chair. We'll take all of them one.
You make me here. You can't push me. You just came here. I've been here. Social Democratic Party. Yes, sir. No, you can't sign it.
Ima. Ima, can we go with the table?
Supposed to be the anything.
Sorry, can we get the tables out?
Emmanuel.
You don't walk already. See person for my friends. Someone is in my front. You are fighting for your own.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have the chairman and candidates of the political parties contesting next year's presidential elections. They are right here on the podium. As you can see, the candidates, they are the ones who are now applicants to the office of President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Chairman of the National Peace Committee, General Abubakar, Inspector General of Police, Chairman INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. I confirm that the political parties have appended their signatures along with their candidates to the peace accord. May you respectfully endorse also the last stages of the National Peace Accord.
All right. Can we please step forward so that we have the photographs? Yes, we carry the second house.
Remain where they are. Candidates.
So that for you, everybody should just stay there. So that you get your nobody should climb up. Can you please move back? Make your
and we officially present you the candidates for 2023 general elections. What is evident today is that the next president, the incoming president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, very much evident. And we have to commit ourselves to peaceful processes to ensure that 2023 is already done, where we have a free, fair,
Please, can we come back? Please, if you are not with camera, please, you give us chance.
Come back now.
Let's go back. Hello. Please, can we come back? Let's go back. Let's go back. Everybody will catch up.
Step back. Some more room in the foreground for the photograph. I respectfully invite members of the National Peace Committee to please come forward to join in the photo op here on the platform.
Hello, photographers, hold on. All the pictures you are taking now are fake. Yes. Pictures are not. These are not official. Excuse, wait. What you have taken now is private. Please clear. Wait, make no consultant. Hey, can you please stop the camera? Why? Bishop.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again we present to you for a greater Nigeria, the presidential candidates.
Okay, wait.
Support of that.